Hello, folks. It is a Saturday, a windy Saturday, strong weather system. Kind of feel and sense the presence of that weather system by the wind. We see some clouds off and on. We've seen some intervals of sun. This is from Alexandria, our Sendar Broadcasting Tower cam from Texas Street. Now, when I look to the west where weather is taking shape over toward Leesville, likewise a mostly cloudy sky there, you can see the clouds moving. Reflecting that strong low-level flow. We have over 50, 60 mile per hour winds just several thousand feet up above the surface, and that's pushed temperatures into the 70s and even 80s here for today. Kind of a very spring-like day. Going up to Natchitoches, so likewise, we're seeing a mostly cloudy sky in that direction. Looks like a few distant showers over there, and we're still 78 degrees with a steady south and southwest breeze at 20 miles per hour. Toledo Bend, also you see some dark clouds in that area. To the left, we're checking out a rain shaft over in that area, and wouldn't be surprised if some of that is causing some lightning and thunder. So we'll be talking about this over the next few minutes. Severe weather threat remains for today through the next several hours. Two cold fronts coming. The first one is kind of moderate. Second one is a pretty big one. So we'll outline what that will do to our 7-day forecast in just a bit. Looking at radar, we see several bands of showers, occasionally a thunderstorm or two kind of taking shape here across the area. This is the main one, further back off to the west of us, but we see others mainly to the south of Alexandria, Pineville metro area. So let me do this. One of the things that happens is when we have the wind. Remember, wind flows like a fluid. The atmosphere, from a physics standpoint, is considered a fluid. So when fluid moves, you get these little narrow corridors where there's a little bit of convergence with that coming together. And here's one of the areas right here. Here's another one, and it looks like there's a couple of 2 or 3 others over here. So what happens is that little bit of convergence can kick the air upward just a bit. And that's why we're seeing this kind of pattern. So let me zoom in and we'll see if there's anything bad taking shape yet. Don't see anything to the south of us there. This just some yellow cores there reflecting kind of a brisk rainfall. And looking over to the west, a couple of red cores coming into South Beauregard, and then stronger light taking shape off to the west of us. Now, what some of the high resolution models are indicating is this line will come in to the western parishes later on this evening, but one of these lines or a new one, may take shape and become the dominant line. So that would cause this one to weaken in the western parishes, and then this one to gain strength wherever it forms. If it does, that's just a model's opinion, but it's a model I trust. Say that line forms somewhere in here and then drives eastward pretty quickly. That would be where the maximum severe weather threat might wind up later this evening. So that's what's happening on radar right now. Checking out your surface features, colder air diving southward. Here's the flood area up to the north of us in the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. But the cold air is spilling south. Remember, this is a modified cold air, and you can see there's a prefrontal boundary with that to the west of us. Sometimes we refer to that as a dry line because the air here is very moist. It's drier off to the south of the front and behind the trough of the dry line feature. All right, let's check it out for your futurecast. Let me step you through here over the next hour or so. We'll see that line begin to encroach upon Toledo Bend to the northwest of us. Wouldn't be surprised if there are already a couple of warnings issued there by 8 o'clock. Now, this thing's not wasting any time in Sinai. That's not going to stay here and vacation for a while like some weather systems do. This is getting in here and out of here quickly. So by 8 o'clock, we're seeing it come in past Winfield into Colfax and Dritter, Maryville areas just to the east of Leesville. There probably be some warnings out ahead of that by that particular time. By 9 o'clock, this model kind of breaking it up just a bit. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think once it forms, it's going to kind of congeal and stay together. But suffice it to say that this will jump through the metro area, Alexandria, Pineville, Ball, Tioga, Woodworth, there between about 8 and 9 o'clock, into Avoyelles Parish about 9 o'clock or so. And then by 11 o'clock, this model says it's out of here and the severe weather threat is over. And if you recall, that's kind of the timing I was given even yesterday in some of the updates that I did, that it'd be over with by 11 o'clock. What about church Sunday morning? Well, no issues there, except you have to get your sweater or a little jacket because it will be much cooler. You'll notice that. And then projecting us into Monday morning, and say mid-morning, your morning commute looks okay, but cold. I expect a light freeze across some parts of the area there for Monday morning as that modified cold air gets in here. Here's your rainfall story. Still expecting a 100% chance rain. Some of you have already gotten rain. I've got rain at my house already, so it's kind of academic in those areas. But if you haven't received rainfall, I think you will, especially as that band comes through the area. AM, PM timing, that's happening. Common amounts will be less than an inch. This is not a heavy rainfall producing situation because it's so energetic and quick moving. It's zipping out of here and toward the east coast overnight. A couple of inches rain is possible, say 2 inches. Somebody could come up with that much or close to it. All right, let's check things out for the storm potential. The high storm potential outlined here. Here's the main cold front. The dry line feature would be out ahead of that. And so as usually happens is the cold front catches up with the dry line. They become a composite boundary, and then that whole thing kind of sweeps through the area. So this outlines where the most favorable area for severe weather is here for your PM hours on Saturday. And otherwise, here's a severe weather outlook from Storm Prediction Center. And near I-49 is kind of the boundary that they're setting, generally west of I-49 or a little bit west of there. This is where the level 2 threat is. This is the level 3 threat, as you can see in the color code there, and that's for the next several hours between now and 11 p.m. Severe weather threats, I haven't made much change to this. Here's your overall bar. That's got to be the highest one, right? So the highest 2 bars, other than that, would be the wind and tornado threat. There's a little bit of hail threat with this and flooding, as I said. This thing's too quick mover, so it's not going to be a major flood threat. Got some text information for you, kind of outlining what to expect. Again, through 10, 11 o'clock is the severe storm threat. By 11 o'clock, I think it's over with. Levels 2 out of 5 and 3 out of 5. I showed you where that was. Generally, I-49 is a pretty good boundary demarking that zone. West of I-49, it's level 2. East of I-49, it's a little higher. It would be level 3. Most common threat is the wind, about a 15 to 30% risk, 15% in the level 2, 30% in the level 3. Tornado risk is 5% and 10%. You can kind of get the idea that hail risk is pretty much the same everywhere, about 5% there. Is that enhanced tornado threat generally east of I-49 in that level 3 area that we demarked. And then the patterns are verifying right now. The open warm sector is what I pointed out to you ahead of the line. The line itself will be the QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. Just another way of saying a line of storms. All right, some people call it a squall line. So that's the kind of situation that we're talking about. So those 2 patterns are already verifying, and both of those have the potential to produce some form of severe weather. The QLCS would mostly be a tornado with embedded circulations and vortices, embedded tornadoes, and wind damage. The open warm sector would have all 3 threats on the table, including hail, tornadoes, and damaging wind. All right, so monitor your weather sources. Nick and I are up and ready for this one, folks. The other dimension to this need to talk about is the temperatures. We've got some cold air coming now. This is the modified first front. That's a cold front. It's cold, but not like the second front. And this is Sunday, as you see a deeper penetration of the colder air into central Louisiana. You'll notice this one and that little bit of a light freeze. So winter definitely returning there for Monday morning with, I'd say, a scattered coverage of a freeze. Some of you will get it and some of you won't. So a chilly day Sunday, noticeably colder, and we touch freezing in some areas Monday. Bright sunshine brings us to 56. And then Tuesday, a chilly start, managing 59 because clouds ramping back in. Rain and some thunderstorms in the forecast Tuesday night. A little bit of a chance of something there, of rain Wednesday morning. But I've got falling temperatures by that time. That 45, I think, may be an average temperature around midnight or so. And then this 35 would be about the time you might sit down to dinner, say about 6 p.m. And so that temperature, as we see a decrease in clouds Wednesday night, will continue dropping into the lower 20s. That's a hard freeze, and we only make a mixture of 30s and 40s for high Thursday, despite a mostly sunny sky. And once we see a partly cloudy sky Thursday night and into Friday, we'll drop back in the low to mid 20s there. So another moderate to hard freeze there. Only 42 for a high. Clouds keeping the temp down a little bit. So the chill remaining all well into the weekend. And then a little disturbance out of the northwest comes over the area, close to the area there on Saturday. And Friday night, Saturday, I had to put in 20%. And with these temperatures, we're looking at a low of 30 Saturday, Friday night's low, and Saturday morning's low, and a high of 45. Might make some folks raise their eyebrows as to what might be expected there. Right now, that's all I'm going to say about that one. That's too far out to deal with right now. But the immediate thing is a severe weather threat here for your Saturday evening, and a light freeze there for Monday morning. All right, Nick Nicholas will be with you primarily. If we have tornado warnings here this evening, I'll be doing the same thing he's doing, except mainly for my Facebook page there. And then we'll update. We'll be able to do a stream tomorrow. I think Nick will do one probably in the middle of the day, and I'll be in the forecast center as usual. Take care. Thanks for your support for SendLaw Weather, and we try to do our best for you in these type situations. I've learned in my many years of being in the weather that a weatherman or weather person, they're at their best when the weather is at its worst. All right, take care